We're here with Vernon Oickle, the author of a new book for us called Through Rain, Sleet, or Snow, Rural Mailboxes of Nova Scotia. Vernon, this is your 36th or 37th book?
37, but I'm not counting.
Well, you're not quite in Leslie Choice territory just yet. I think
No.
he's got 106 or 7 books out, but it's a lovely book, and we're here at Chapters in Bears Park in Halifax. And Vernon, how long have you been taking pictures of mailbox, and why? Why were you drawn to mailboxes, and how long have you been taking those pictures?
Well over 12 years, 12, 13, 14 years of doing it. And I stumbled on the idea quite by accident, Scott, out doing research for other projects. And one day I just drove around a corner and there was a beautiful mailbox. And I thought, that's so neat and unique. And I stopped and took a picture. And it evolved from there. And one mailbox led to pictures of 2, 3, 4. Next thing you know, I had several hundred. And thinking that maybe someday, who knows, maybe I'd do a book.
And here we are.
And Scott came along.
So you've met a lot of the people who created these mailboxes, right? Would you say that they are artists or craftspeople, or just people having fun with the medium?
I think it's a mixture of that. They're certainly artists in their own right. They're folk artists. They're preserving pieces of culture, that represents who they are, the diversity that's out there. Some of the mailboxes represents their hobbies or their careers. It could be an ode to something that they've that they're attached to, like a church, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So it represents it's a wide swath of.
And you've met some characters, I'm sure.
Oh, indeed. Some of them, they're so proud of their creations. That's the thing, right? Because some of them put a lot of time and effort and thought into their mailboxes, and they're so proud to be able to put it out there on the side of the road for the world to see.
Could you show us a couple of maybe your favorites?
Sure,
And,
yeah. This I think is my favorite. This was made by Jim Tracy. He's a folk artist who lives in Falmouth, just outside of Windsor.
And that's a seagull with a couple of saddlebags.
That's right, mailboxes. Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So that's definitely, if it's not my favorite one in the book, it's certainly up there. But there are so many in here: animals and houses, and a throwback, an ode to a dedication to the nautical way of life here in Nova Scotia, the sea and fishing and whatnot.
The one at the very beginning of the book, too, of the dog.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
And
Yeah.
the frontispiece is an
Yeah,
interesting
right here. Yeah.
It's-
Just shows how artistic and creative people
yeah,
can be.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. And even the cover, the one on the cover,
Oh, nice.
that's certainly one of our favorites, or it wouldn't be on the cover.
I like the one on page 31. Could you dig that one out?
I will.
There's a real sense of humor to
I will
that
go
one.
there right quickly.
Vernon's books will be available in all the Indigo chain of Coles and Chapters in Nova Scotia, as well as at sspub.ca, nimbus.ca, and amazon.ca. So let's have a look at page 31. There it is. It's a vertical array of mailboxes with the one for bills right at the top or close to the top,
Yeah.
so that the postman can't reach it. I really like that.
Yeah, you'd have to have a fairly high ladder to, like, if you were the mailman, you'd have to have a ladder to put your mail
not
in
too
them.
many mailmen are carrying ladders with them.
No, and this one is in Church Point in Digby County, and it's off the beaten path, so it took us a little while to find it.
Vernon, you've been on probably just about every back road in Nova Scotia. Have you learned something about this province in your travels over the last 10 or 12 years that you didn't know beforehand, and from a rural perspective?
Well, I learned just how diverse we are, our culture, and I learned how beautiful this province. I always knew we lived in a beautiful place, but driving around the places that are off the beaten path, you tend to really see the province as it really is, and how beautiful and stunning it is. And it's just a reminder that we have to let's gotta preserve this place because it's just one in a million, right? And it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. So as for mailboxes in general, they don't have much of a future, I don't think. So there's kind of a nostalgia
Yeah.
attached to this book, right?
Yeah, there's no question. Certainly, the folk art type mailboxes are fading because it's easier to go buy one of these prefabricated boxes made out of plastic or metal, and instead of taking hours and hours to create something. There's that, and then of course the internet is having an impact. People using email
True.
and social media
That's a good
to
point, yeah.
communicate, right? So. But occasionally you see one that, like, you can go down a road that you'd been on maybe 2 years ago, and there's a new mailbox that somebody has had an inkling to create. So they do pop up.
Yeah, but more and more we're seeing the pre-manufactured,
question. Yeah.
mass-produced mailboxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But really, I think rural mailboxes are kind of on the way out.
Yeah,
I'd
I think
say,
they're
and
fading,
it's-
no
so,
question. Yeah.
This is a real treasure to see a record
Yeah.
of these
Yeah.
works of art.
Yeah, I'm
and-
certainly pleased with it. The book turned out beyond my expectations.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Glad to hear that.
the color reproduction and the graphic appearance of the book is quite stunning.
And some of the mailboxes, I guess you could call works of art.
Oh,
like more
absolutely.
folk art than
Yeah,
anything. And
yeah.
I think Ray Cronin addresses that.
That's right.
his
He
foreword,
had
right?
Ray, who is an expert in folk art here in Nova Scotia, and he wrote the foreword for the book, and he speaks about how important it is to preserve this piece of folk art.
Well, it's a very valuable record, I think, of our material history here in Nova Scotia, and good for you for taking it on. And it's great work and a really nice book. And
Thank you.
congratulations, and thanks for taking the time to talking
Well,
with us about it.
thank you, and so SS Publications for putting the faith in me to do it. It's been a nice partnership.
Let's just see the cover again there, Vern. There we go. Through rain, sleet, or snow, rural mailboxes of Nova Scotia by Vernon Oickle. Thanks again, Vernon, and congratulations.
Thank you.